I went searching for the quote in the New York Times article on Monday by Graham Bowley and Jenny Anderson, where they had described how Goldman Sachs did this. And they said that Sachs embraced risks that rivals feared to take and managed risks better than its rivals dreamed possible. They also, in Monday's edition, described Goldman as having brilliantly navigated a white-knuckled run in stocks. Today, that's just changed to profitably in the web version.
Right, right. Now, this a lot of people are patting Goldman on the back for making this enormous profit, but really, this is really obscene what happened the other day. In light of the massive government subsidies that this and other banks, but in Goldman in particular, got since last year. It doesn't take a lot of skill to make money banking if the money you're getting is cheap, and they got an enormous amount of cheap, almost free money from the government since the bailout happened last year.
Tell us how it happened. What were the different moments where they cashed in?
Well, there were three big ones, actually four really. There was the TARP, where they got $10 billion through the Troubled Asset Relief Program. They got at least $13 billion in cash through the AIG bailout because AIG owed them an enormous amount of money. Then they got converted from an investment bank to a bank holding company, which made them eligible for the Temporary Liquidity Guarantee Program, which basically gave them government backing for a whole galaxy of debt that they wanted to issue. So Goldman went ahead and issued $28 billion in government-backed debt, which is basically just a way of saying that they could raise their money cheaply. In addition to that, because they became a bank holding company, that made them eligible for to go to the discount window at the Federal Reserve, and God knows how much cheap money they got there too. So there's all this is government assistance, and it translated directly into profits.
And then at the end of the day, there are far fewer competitors for Goldman Sachs than there were a year ago.
Absolutely, because simultaneous to the AIG bailout, former Goldman chief Hank Paulson allowed Lehman Brothers to die, which removed Goldman's biggest competitor from the marketplace, and now they're running rampant with Lehman and Bear gone from the marketplace. And
just remind us how Goldman benefited from the AIG bailout, because at the time, nobody was talking about Goldman. They were talking about AIG. Right. Goldman reps were at the table. You even had Tim Geithner involved.
Right. Geithner and Lloyd Blankfein, the head of Goldman Sachs, was in the room when the deal was struck for AIG. Goldman was AIG's single largest creditor. AIG owed Goldman about $20 billion, and if AIG had proceeded to a normal bankruptcy without government intervention, Goldman probably would have gone out of business. Instead, they got paid 100 cents on the dollar for every dollar that AIG owed them, and they got at least $13 billion immediately through that bailout.
Mike, to you, you've written in response to all of this that, in a sense, what Goldman are reaping now are the benefits of having practiced exactly the kind of risky behavior that got the economy on the skids in the first place.
Well, of course they are. They're not making money by helping small business. They're not making money by investing in things that really help people, as folks said when they said we need to bail out the banks because it'll help small business and all of this. They're making money by trading and speculating and gambling, doing it with cheap money at the government's expense, and they're doing it with their political power. The irony on this is the folks at Goldman will tell you. I talked to one of them yesterday. Folks at Goldman will say, well, look, it's our job to make money, and we're doing it within the rules of the law. But of course, they're helping write the rules of the law. They're lobbying against anything that would weaken their ability to do what they're doing. So they're really, they have all the cards right now.
But what's really interesting about this case is that Goldman through the prosecutor in this case, they stood up in court, and the prosecutor said that Goldman told us that in the wrong hands, that's the phrase they used, this computerized trading program that Goldman had could be used to unfairly manipulate the market. They admitted this in court last week. And that is an extraordinary admission. And if that is true, and if people get a chance to analyze this program, I think it could be a major financial story.